Easter. Yay! Thank you. At 8:30 they were still asleep, kind of going, yeah, okay. Welcome to Easter. It has taken us a while to get here, but we are finally here. We're finally at Easter. And for some of us, getting here has meant getting through 40 days of Lent and 40 days of some kind of discipline. Now, I used to look down on people who gave up chocolate for Lent, but let me tell you, it's hard. It's hard. For some of us, getting here, well, that's been a little bit different. It's not been easy getting here. It's been getting here through the muck of life and all that can suck life out of us. It wasn't easy, but you made it. And for some of us, getting here meant trying to get yourself and your household cleaned, dressed, and out the door in time for worship without having a meltdown. That was always big in our family. My father would be in the car honking the horn. My mom would try to get 4 kids ready for Easter, and Daddy was always afraid that Jesus would show up and then leave without us. So you know what the Easter trauma is like. But you're here now. You're here. Welcome to Easter. It doesn't matter how you got here. It also doesn't matter if you don't fully understand Easter. It doesn't even matter if you don't fully understand Jesus. Most of us are still trying to figure out just what it means to follow Jesus. I love the story that Maya Angelou would tell on herself. You may know that she was a noted author and a poet. Her writings influenced more than one generation. Maya was also a Christian. Well, a sort of kind of Christian. Maya would tell of people approaching to her and really excited to find out she was a Christian, just like that. And they would say, coming up to her, "Maya, you're a Christian." And she would reply with a little bit of astonishment, "What? Already? I've been trying so hard for so long." Maya was a practicing Christian, which is the best that most of us can do. We're practicing our faith. It means we don't always get it right. We make mistakes. And thank God we get do-overs. So we keep getting to practice and practice again. And when we finally get it right, it's going to be on that great getting up day. That's when we'll get it right. And that first great getting up day was that first Easter, the one that we mark today. And you have to remember that the first Easter did not start out in joy. The morning started out in despair, in sorrow, in darkness. Friends of Jesus had come to anoint his body. They'd come to complete the rituals that marked a proper burial. They did not expect to find anything other than a dead body. That's as real as it gets. Death. Now, I don't know if you've ever had the experience of being in the presence of someone after they've died. There's absolutely no mistaking that moment when whatever spark it was that animated that person, well, it's gone. It's gone. Whatever it was that made that person mom or dad or sister or brother or friend is gone. We don't say, he or she is not here, he is risen. We say, they've gone. What's left is just a shell of all that made that person so loved and so special in our eyes. That's all the women expected to find that first Easter. Just that shell that once contained everything that made Jesus, Jesus. When they finished taking care of that shell, the stone would again seal the tomb, along with everything else that they'd ever hoped or loved or dreamt about. But that is not what they find. They find their hopes realized. They find their dreams have come true. And they find the one who is love incarnate standing right in front of them. It is literally an oh my God moment. Of all the stories of the resurrection, I am most touched by the one we have this morning from the Gospel writer John. Mary can't comprehend what's happened. She's standing outside the tomb weeping. Jesus draws near to her and says, "Woman, why are you weeping?" And she says, "They have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." And she turns and faces Jesus, but she still can't see him. St. John again uses the word weeping to describe Mary. But I have to wonder if she wasn't sobbing, if she wasn't wailing, if she wasn't keening, that deep scream that comes from the bottom of a wounded heart. And that's when Jesus says her name. Just that one word. I love this. Mary. Mary. It said that seeing is believing, but this is where hearing is believing. Jesus calls her by her name, Mary. You know the voice of love when you hear it. You don't need caller ID. You just need to hear the tone, the inflection, to hear your name said in love, to know who's called. Author Jan Richardson writes about this encounter saying, "What draws my attention is not only the way that Mary Magdalene sees Christ when he calls her name. What tugs at me this time is how, in the moment of hearing her name, Mary Magdalene must see herself. With an inflection that only Christ could have given it, his speaking her name conveys everything. All their history, all that passed between them in their friendship, all that he knows of this woman whom he healed, who along with other women traveled with him, sustained him from her own resources. He knows her, he sees her, and now he asks to see her as she sees herself. Mary. I used to love to get phone calls from my mom, who's since gone to be with the Lord, and all she had to do was say, "Hey baby, how you doing?" I knew who it was. I knew the name, and I knew I was her baby. Mary. Mary. And Mary wants to hold on to Jesus. And so do I, and so do you. But Jesus is setting the stage not just for a call, and this is so important. Jesus is setting the stage for a commissioning. Jesus gives her a mission. Jesus says, "Go to my brothers. Go. Don't stay here. Go." And that's why of all the names given to Mary Magdalene, she is known first of all as the apostle to the apostles. She's the first. Go. Tell what you've seen, what you've experienced. That empty shell isn't empty anymore. It is full of a new kind of life. And here I'm not just talking about Jesus, I'm talking about Mary. And I'm talking about you. And I'm talking about me. We don't have to remain burnt out shells. We get to change. Our children have been learning that lesson during Lent. You've seen caterpillars turn to butterflies, butterflies that had to be released earlier this week so that they would survive. We thought that might be good for Easter. But they understood that transformation process of being transformed and then being released. Released. What in you needs to be released this morning so that you can discover your true, your full identity? Woman, man, you are released. And what will you proclaim today as you leave the empty tomb? Well, maybe you can find it in Jan Richardson's Easter blessing. If you're looking for a blessing, do not linger here. Here is only emptiness, a hollow, a husk where a blessing used to be. This blessing was not content in its confinement. It could not abide its isolation, the unrelenting silence, the pressing stench of death. So if it is a blessing that you seek, open your own mouth. Fill your lungs with the air that is this new morning brings, and then release it with a cry. Hear how the blessing breaks forth in your own voice, how your own lips form every word you never dreamed to share. See how the blessing circles back again, wanting you to repeat it but louder. How it draws you, pulls you, sends you to proclaim its only word, risen, risen, risen. In Jesus' name, amen.